This is the Greg Bedard Patriots Podcast with Nick Cattles.
All right, coaching search. Yeah, baby. Let's get into it, Greg. Let's get into the info, the intel. Greg's been on the phone, texting, taking calls,
Yes, if the season couldn't get any longer. Now we're going through a coaching search.
All right, Mark Daniels reported today. Mike Vrabel interviewing this week. Let me just cut to the chase. Handicap the chances, Greg, that Mike Vrabel is the next head coach of the New England Patriots. If you want to give me a 4-1, 80%, however you want to handicap it, go ahead, big guy. Tell me.
Good question. I'm trying to put a percentage. It's high. So I'm trying to say, is there a real difference between 80 and 90%? I'm going to go 90%. I think there's a 90% chance that Mike Vrabel is the next head coach of the New England Patriots. And do I think some things have been in motion? Yeah, I do. But I think the biggest reason you can point to why it's Vrabel and not say like Ben Johnson or something like that is, look what the Kraft just went through with their own rookie head coach.
Yep.
At least Ben Johnson has been a coordinator, but a guy that they knew, went to Israel with, all this stuff, believed in it, and that guy fell on his face. After that, do you really think they're going to bring in another first-time head coach, someone they don't even know, and put him in charge? To me, there is little chance of that, like 1%. So Mike Vrabel makes a lot of sense. They know him. He's been a successful head coach. He spent this year learning how to coach offense better in Cleveland, was in Cleveland with their analytics department, saw all that, used basically this season to educate himself more in a lot of different areas, so it'll be better the second time around. And it's too perfect a fit. Now we'll see what he's going to do for offensive coordinator and stuff like that. Could be Leftwich now that he's coming in. Could be Josh McDaniels. But yeah, to me, I would be stunned if it's not Mike Vrabel either by the end of the week or early next week. I would be stunned if Vrabel's not the new head coach in fairly quickly.
Any idea about the staff he'd bring along with him? You just mentioned McDaniels. Have you unearthed any more information regarding that? I know Tommy Reese has been brought up. Any thoughts on who he might bring along?
No.
Awesome.
I would be interested to see who his defensive coordinator is going to be. I mean, maybe he has some more thoughts about, maybe branching out. I mean, I would love to see, a guy like Robert Saleh or somebody like that, but I don't know how Vrabel's idea about defense and how he runs his defense. Now, he didn't run the Patriots defense in Tennessee per se. So maybe that's a possibility, but Shane Bowen, who is, I think, still employed by the Giants.
Yeah.
As their defensive coordinator. I mean, he could get fired. He was his last defensive coordinator in Tennessee. To me, it doesn't really matter who the defensive coordinator is because Mike's going to make sure, unlike Gerard, Mike's going to make sure that side of the ball is good and ready. And if he has to spend all his time over there, he will do that and make it better. To me, the big hiring is offensive coordinator. I think if I had to guess, and this is just a guess, I have no information on it. I think it'll be Josh McDaniels, but I really don't know. It's let me put it this way. It's unusually quiet on that front. And so that leads me to wonder, as I know McDaniels has a lot of interest around the league with different people as this hiring process goes through. But I don't know. To me, it makes too much sense.
What could get in the way of Vrabel being the guy?
It's a great question that I hadn't really pondered. Nothing. I can't really think of anything. I mean, I can't see the Krafts balking on money. I can't see Vrabel going nuts with the money. I think that some of the front office stuff that's going on right now, I wouldn't be surprised if there haven't been conversations about that. And I think people being on board with certain things. Yeah, I'm trying to be very vague. I'm trying not to step in it very much.
Do you think if he walked in and said, "I want final say, I want the power, I want the personnel power," would that make the Krafts a little shaky?
It might, but from my understanding, I would not be surprised if Mike Vrabel doesn't have final say if he is named head coach of the New England Patriots.
Oh, look at you. Look at you, huh? Look at a little smirking and everything. This guy, he knows more than he's telling us, folks. He
Did you see me on TV last night? I actually winked into the camera, like talking about.
Yeah, I saw you. I saw you. I watched it this morning. All right, quick. And I mean quick, because we still got a lot to get to, and you got to get to Felger and Maz. Rand Carthon, Greg, was popped today. I tweeted this out. The Tennessee Titans told Vrabel to screw, pretty much, because he said Rand Carthon's our guy. They attached themselves to Rand Carthon. They chose him instead of Vrabel. Vrabel said, "You're making a mistake." And now a year later, after Vrabel is let go, Rand Carthon gets fired after being the GM in Tennessee for only 2 years. Does that give Mike Vrabel more credibility when he walks into a room now?
Absolutely. Yeah, I do. What's interesting is, like, from what I understand, like, Vrabel didn't want John Robinson fired. Like, look, was he happy about the A.J. Brown trade? No, but John, I think, did what he thought he had to do. I think it ticked off ownership. And I do think, from what I understand, the John Robinson firing was Amy Strunk Adams. And then the Vrabel firing was Strunk. And now she picked Rand Carthon. Hired him. Mike Vrabel wanted Ryan Cowden, who's now with the Giants.
Yep.
And then fired Vrabel, and then back to Rand Carthon, who is now fired. Like, what a clown show.
Quickly, does Ben Johnson have any shot? Let's put it this way. If Vrabel's 90%, is Ben Johnson the other 10%? Is this a two-person race?
If for some reason this gets to January 20th, I think that's the end of the divisional round when you can have in-person interviews. I would put it as Vrabel, Ben Johnson, and Brian Flores. I would say those would be the final three. I even might put Flores ahead of Ben Johnson because he's already been a head coach and because the Krafts know him. That's what I put. That's the way I would put it.
And I would tell you that Brian Flores just took questions about his head coaching prospects. This is Kevin Seifert from ESPN. He said he would take every interview that is requested. Asked if he is interested in the Patriots job. He said, quote, "I would say yes, but it's not up to me." And so it sounds like the Patriots have not reached out to Brian Flores, which, again, could tell you a lot about Byron Leftwich's interview, right? If you're not reaching out to Flores, if you're not reaching out to Aaron Glenn, what is that telling us? Tom Pelissero just tweeted. That's 2 head coaching interviews today for the Patriots, Pep Hamilton and Byron Leftwich. The only current NFL assistant coach they're known to have requested is Lions OC Ben Johnson, while Mike Vrabel is free to interview anytime, ... Tom's getting to what we got to. Okay? Mm-hmm. Timing matters. Mike Vrabel is going to be the coach. He's going to be the coach by Friday. We know what's happening here. Can we just stop? Okay? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Unless something catastrophic happens during the interview, Mike Vrabel is going to be your next head coach. Ben Johnson has an outside shot if Vrabel gets pantsed in the interview. That's what's happening here. They check 2 boxes, unfortunately. That's what they did today.